Hello guys, what's up and welcome to the new tutorial from the SketchUpArchStudio. In this important and different tutorial, we want to talk about Lumion for SketchUp. So in this case, I have this house in here and I want to create some super realistic mesmerizing render for it. So if I hold O on my keyboard and hold R and B and move my cursor, I can orbit and rotate in my environment. Very simple and easy. With W, S, A, and D, you can move forward. If you hold shift and space, you can go much faster and easier to your target, and some other things which you can find it at the right side on Lumion, and all of them have their own guides. So I'm going to start my job with fixing out my camera. So I'm going to click on this option in here, which name is photo. So I'm going to click on the photo in here, and if I hold right click and move my cursor, I can see some grid lines on the real-time live render window in here. So I want to hold O on my keyboard and hold R and B. As you can see, this is the camera shot that we have in here. We have two options, which name is horizontal eye level. If I click on it, my eye level or my pitch will be 0. And in here, I can add my eye height, for example, 4 meters. I want to go a little bit far from my target, something like that. Don't worry about the distance of it. We will fix it out. And if I click on it like that, preview has been updated for us. And in here, if I click on the store camera, or if I press Ctrl plus number 1 on my keyboard, first camera shot will be generated for me. So as you can see, this is my first camera shot in here. If you double click on it, you can remove it, or you can update new scene in here, for example, in another view like that. And if you press store camera, your photo will be stored for you. But right now, we only need this one. And I want to start my rendering process. So I'm going to click on the build option in here and start moving in my environment, something like that. First of all, I need to texturizing and materializing my environment. So I'm going to click on this option in here, left side, which name is materials, and it's like the paint bucket in SketchUp. If you click on it, you have lots of materials and you only need to move your cursor on them. For example, dark turquoise in here. If I click on it, I can change the total material. Very simple and easy. How I can do this work? You have material library in Lumion. First one related to the new option. You can create new option by different type of tools which Lumion provide for you. Another option related to the custom materials, and you can add some type of custom materials like PBRs in your environment. Outdoor materials is about pre-concert and all the details which related to the outdoor. Indoor materials is something like fabric, glass, plastic, leather, and something like this. But right now we need water. So you need to click on the various. In the various option, you have water option in here. So I'm going to click on the water in this place. And now you have multi-type of realistic waters which are completely suitable for your project. I want to click on this one, Azure Pole in here. And you can see what really happened inside your real-time project. And now you have some super realistic water in this place. You can switch between different type of waters like the blue ocean or clear lake. All of them are completely useful in different places. I want to use Azure Pole, and I think it's really fine. If I double click on it, I can adjust material setting. For example, wave height. I want to go a little bit near to my target. If I increase the wave height, you can see what really happened. And if you want to see the reflection of this house on your water, you need to reduce wave height as you can. And now you can see the clouds reflection on your water too. So glossiness is really important. So try to hold it on some high value number to see the reflections. Wave scale is really important, but in here, because we have wave height in the low number or parameter, wave scale can't be really effective, but try to use some low value because we need reflections. Caustic scale related to the lights which catch by the water surface. Reflectivity on the high mode. Foam is your wave foam in here. So if I increase the foam as you can, if you look at the edges in here, you can see some small foams like that. I want to hold this foams because it's really good, and border displacement is not really important. So click on the save changes. It's about the water. So I want to add some personage. So for doing this job, I'm going to click on the objects in here, and now I can access to all of these type of materials and objects. For example, if I click on the outdoor, double click on it, I can see some library which related to the outdoor furnitures. Right now, I only want to use one of these outlines and outdoors, for example, deck chair in here. Maybe something like that is not bad for me. I'm gonna click on it and move it in here, but I don't like the details of it, so I try to find another one. Maybe this one is not bad. No, I don't like it. This one. Some objects have this option in here, which means that you can colorize them very simple and easy. So I want to search a little bit more about it. Maybe this one can be good. Or in the page 2, I can select one of them. It's not really important, but I want to select one of the best materials that I can add. So I add this one in here, click on the select tool in this place, select it. And if you click on the rotate option, or if you move your cursor on it and hold R on your keyboard, you can rotate it very simple and easy. So everything is fine in here. I only need to orbit like that, move my cursor on the target, click on the selection tool, select it, and now if I hold my cursor, I can move it like that, select it, like that. You can move it very simple and easy. So it's worked very simple, and if I hold Alt on my keyboard, I can take some copies like that in Lumion, very simple. And now you can colorize them by this part of your job. For example, something near to the white. You can select both of them and add them some details like that. So come back to the people and animals. Double click on the people and animals in here. And I don't want this guy. I don't know why it's happening. You can change it to the women, for example. And look at the details of them in different type of ways. Maybe, I don't know, maybe this one. I don't know how I can add it, but it's the some ready bed for it, so I don't use it because maybe it can destroy my render. So I will come back in here and add one of these personages, for example this one, into the water, maybe something like that. I can hold R in here, O, rotate it, click on the man in here, and add another man in the pool, for example this guy, something like this, and some type of works like that. So I'm going to click on the fine detail nature in here, as you can see, and now I have two ways for adding them to my environment. I think most valuable way related to how we can do this type of trees in our environment. So you have multiple trees like that, and you can see the detail of them in here. But you can add all of them at the same period of time. So you need to switch on the nature in here and click on the paint placement like that. And now I can select one of these trees. For example, maybe this one is not bad. Click on number 4, this one, and this one. So I can cover my area by holding this paint option in here, and I think it's worked really fantastic. So I need to cover my area very fast. It worked very simple. You only need to move your cursor like that, and all the area will be covered for you like this. If you want to see the reflection of these trees on your mirror and water, I prefer to use, for example, this tree in here and add it like that, like this one and this one. So click on the confirm and return to the build mode, and now everything is fine for us. So I'm going to click on the photo in here, and I want to switch back to my environment. You only need to double click on your restore camera. Don't worry about it, we will fix it out. You only need to move a little bit near to the target. Maybe something like that is not bad. And now you can click on the custom style in here. You have multiple styles for rendering. For example, realistic, interior, night mode, daytime, overcast, and watercolor. Right now, realistic is really important for me. You have pre-ready elements for your rendering, and I think it should really work fine in different type of projects and perspectives. So I'm going to reduce the focal point to focus on my target like that, and you can see what really happened. If I click on this one, the preview will be rendered for me, and I think it's really wonderful. Sometimes it works really well. It takes a bit of time, and after that you can see the preview render in your job. So it takes a bit of time, and after that your pre-render preview will be ready for you. You can come back to the build environment. If you don't like these objects or any type of objects which you think are not really suitable, you can click on the people selection, delete option, this one, and this one will be deleted for you, and come back to your model. Very simple and easy. So I will come back to the photo in here, and I can orbit a little bit in my job. Maybe something like this one. And now I can click on the FX in here and start my job by adding 2-point perspective. 2-point perspective will be on for me. I can click on the back option. I can click on the real skies, click on the select real sky, and now I can choose different type of skies which completely related to my job. So I'm going to click on the select real sky in here. Real sky. Click on the heading and change the heading of your sky. Very simple and easy. For example, something like that. You can increase the brightness like this and overall brightness like that. Click on the back option in here. Sharpen is not really important, so I can remove it, but right now you can't remove it because it's used pre-ready style. So you can turn it off, disable effect. Exposure is good. You can double click on it and re-expose your screen if you think it's not enough. Color correction is one of the most important and valuable render setting in Lumion. So I need some warm render or cold render. If you want cold render, it completely reverses with Enscape. You can reduce the temperature for cold rendering or increase it for the warm rendering. For example, something like that. Tint is about the tonnage of the colors. I want some warm colors like this. Vibrance, like the saturation, work on different type of colors in here. Brightness can be decreased. Contrast can be increased. Saturation is not bad. Gamma correction is good. Limit low and limit high, don't touch it. So next item is the reflection. I can click on it, change the preview quality on the low mode, and the speed ray is on. If you click on the edit reflection planes in here, you can click on this option, add plane, select your water. It will select it for you, and click on the add option again and select your glasses. Another time add and select your glasses. So click on the checkbox in here, and now you can see more realistic reflections on your surfaces which you selected. So I'm going to click on the backside in here. Hyperlight, one of the most valuable and important things. I enable it in the preview. If you use low config system, you can turn it off, but try to use it in some number like 32%. Skylight, I want to disable effect. Shadow is really important. Try to use different type of shadows. Normal, sharp, ultra sharp. Right now I want to use normal. Sun shadow range is not bad, but if I play with it, you can see some changes in your environment and completely realistic. Sometimes it works with your real-time rendering and you can see what really happened. Coloring is related to the type of your shadows. If I increase it or decrease it, I can see some changes. But one of the most valuable edits and settings in the shadow is Omni Shadow and Shadow Correction. I can play with the shadow correction and see the preview like that. Everything is fun. I want to click on the back. Depth of field is really important, so try to use it in some good number. If I play with the amount, I can see where I can focus on it. Foreground and background helps you to create your distance. But the way of working with depth of field in Lumion is that increase the amount as you can. And now you can play with the focus distance. I want to focus on the house like this. You can see it gets sharper. It means that now you're focusing on these part of your house. Foreground and background helps you to manage your focusing and defocusing areas. You can see the changes. I prefer to use foreground. Sharp area size helps you to manage the amount of focusing, and now you can reduce the amount option as you can. And this is the final thing that happened for you, very simple and easy. I want to re-edit my eye height. 3.6 is enough. Click on the store camera, update it, and you can change the bouquet shape on your focusing. I want to use this bouquet shape in here. Click on the back option. So everything is fine for me. Now I want to click on the build, materials, select water, and I want to reduce the wave height as I can. And now I think it's much better. Opacity is good and glossiness is good. So I'm going to click on the checkbox in here, come back to the photo. Everything is fine for me. I'm going to click on the FX in here. So we have some options which not available right now. So you need to click on the show all in here. Now you have sun, weather, object, sky, and different type of things which related to your job. Right now I want to click on the object and click on the autumn color because our color is not really set in this job. If I play with the hue option, look at the trees color in here and you can see the changes very simple and easy. And if you play with the saturation and range, you can control them in good numbers. So hue variation is not bad. I can increase it a little bit. If I increase it, it will go to the red color, and decrease it, it will go to the purple color. So try to manage it in some good number like that. Another effect that I want to add, I'm going to click on the FX. Camera is good, but I think I can click on the maybe handheld camera. In here I can play with the focal lengths like this. Maybe something like that is good, or I can reduce it to create these type of realistic renders. So click on the back option, click on the real skies. Alright, in here you can select different type of skies, for example cloudy, evening, morning, or overcast. Right now I want to click on the cloudy in here. Select, for example, cloudy number 4 and play with the heading. I want to reduce the brightness. Overall brightness is good. If you click on the flip sky, you can see your HDRI sky will be flipped for you. Click on the real skies again, add effect. We don't create any type of necessary animation. Artistics is not bad, but for example, I can click on the vignette in here, and we have two options, vignette amount and vignette softness. If I reduce the vignette softness, you can see what really happened, and it's not really good. So try to use it on the high value, but I think something like that is enough. And something like this. Alright, you have some darknesses in this area. How you can fix it out? You can click on the page number 2, number 1, hyperlight. Click on the enable and preview to see what really happened. I can increase it. And now we have more lighted areas in this place. So hyperlight can help you to make some dark areas more brightness and realistic. So click on the turn back in here, add effects. Artistic number 2. Everything is done for us. Advance is good. And I think time for the rendering. So For the final job in the rendering, you need to click on the renders photos in here, as you can see. And you can select your resolution, for example, email, desktop, or print. I want to click on the desktop, additional input in here. For example, I want to save it on my desktop by the number 1. And if I press save, your render will be a start for you. I'm going to click on the cancel. If you have multiple shots, you have photo set. Right now, we only have one shot. And additional outputs like the D, depth map, normal map, reflection map, lighting map, sky alpha map, and material ID map. So these type of things really useful in the Photoshop and post-production. Right now I only want to render this shot, so I'm going to click on the desktop and save it as the number 1 and press save. It takes a bit time, and after that Lumion will generate some super realistic render for you, and I think it's really wonderful. So try to learn Lumion because it's really wonderful, especially in some artistic and artificial designs which related to the architecture. You can compare Enscape, Lumion, or V-Ray and choose which one you want to learn, or we have other type of rendering engines like the D5 or Unreal Engine. But I really like Lumion because colors and rendering effects and elements are really realistic, and sometimes they really impress you. So click on the open folder in here. This is my render in this place, and this is the final result that we have in here. You can see the changes in here, and I think everything is wonderful. But we have some bugs like these trees which come to the inside of the house, but most of them are not really important. You have this water in here, and all the settings are done for us. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If this tutorial useful for you, please like and subscribe to SketchUpArchStudio. Thanks for your time, thanks for watching, and goodbye.